Item B under new business, a discussion of bylaws revisions. This is something I initiated. I contacted all of our members prior to the meeting to ask that we add this agenda item. All I said is I'd like to undertake a little research and propose some revisions to our bylaws. I believe the document could benefit from some more legible and attractive formatting. In its current form, it's obviously an old scan of a document that's been around a while. I think we could make it a little more legible. I also think we could use a little more detail in articulating the authority and duties of the board as a whole, the duties of individual members, and in particular the officers, the duties of the director as administrative officer of the board, and some other matters that I've noticed are standard in other bylaws and are recommended by the public trustee manual. I'm not proposing any revisions right now. I'm just bringing it before the board that I intend to undertake this research project, and that I'm proposing to bring a draft of these revisions to our next meeting. Once I've done a little digging and writing myself, I'm going to share things with the director, with the secretary, and with the city attorney for their input to make sure everything looks kosher. It's within the authority of the president to appoint the committees to undertake such things, but I will ask for a motion. I will put forward the motion that I be authorized to undertake this project and to propose revisions to our bylaws at our next meeting. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Are you going to be a committee of, are you appointing?
I'm suggesting that myself, the secretary, and the director, or if we're speaking just to the board members, myself and the secretary be the committee in question.
Okay.
Yes. Any other questions or discussion, Director? Thank you.
It was pointed out at the last board meeting that maybe the city attorney might not be the best person to review policies specific to libraries. And
Okay.
so I think personally, maybe before we undertake this, we should look into potentially acquiring a library attorney for ourselves who's versed in library law, who could assist us with this. I do have a list, if anyone would like it, of attorneys that practice library law in the state of Michigan. Another benefit of Woodlands is that they provide us $2,000 to share between continuing education, technology, and legal services. So we do have $2,000 available to us if we needed it and wanted to use it. Personally, I would recommend that we use a library-specific attorney. This wasn't something I was aware of before, and so before when I was rewriting policies, I did have our city attorney look at it. But if we could get ourselves in some legal trouble, it sounds like maybe we should take initiative and try to protect ourselves and make sure that we are doing what we should be doing. So I do have a list of library law attorneys in Michigan, but that's where I'll leave that.
Thank you. Trustee Paladino?
I think I would agree with that if we were gonna change policy at this point, but assuming you're gonna be ripping things from, other libraries that have been, vetted and approved, as well as, the trustee manual, I don't see this as that volatile of a situation, but definitely open to the suggestion.
Trustee
Hill. I would just say, agreeing with what Jessica said after hearing Claire's presentation about how library law is so much different than regular law practices, and to not go with the city attorney. And also at Woodlands cooperative meetings that I've been to, they have also stressed, because some libraries such as ours do have access to a city attorney, it's just easy to go to them at no additional cost. That's part of our whole city contract. And so we've used Mr. Lovinger in the past and his partner to look at things. I know one library commented that they were piggybacking off another library that they knew had library services to keep themselves from a legal fee. and they were warned, every library is so different between city libraries, district libraries, and different categories of libraries, that it's very specific. And you can get in a lot of trouble rewriting policies or provisions or even bylaws without the right input.
Any other discussion? Trustee Stoll?
Frankly, the elephant in the room is that for the last several months, we've been getting threatened with the idea that somebody is going to sue us at some point. Let's just be very clear. And if Woodlands has this money available to us to use, I don't see where it would hurt to have someone look it over. If it's not going to cost the library, in theory, if it's not going to cost the library any money, if it's not going to cost the city any money, because I do know that that would ultimately be a concern if it was going against city budget and we were hiring our own lawyer. But if Woodlands is going to give us the money to be able to do this, to keep ourselves as much out of hot water unnecessarily as we can, I think that's incredibly pertinent, because we've been getting threats, guys.
Any further discussion?
I believe Woodlands would be supporting us in as far as we found intellectual freedom, not if we went against it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we will move forward with a vote to create a committee consisting of the president and the secretary to consider revisions to our bylaws, understanding that this committee may also and would potentially prudently investigate the possibility of using available funds to consult specialized legal assistance when it comes to seeking a library law attorney. All those in favor of the motion, a show of hands. All those opposed? 3-2, the motion passes.